Got to get that ad read in. This one could be fireworks from Jump Street.
Choo's body language, very sleepy looking. A little bit surprising considering the magnitude of the bout.
Choo coming off of a fresh victory off of winning a belt, another promotion. Mikkelsen winning the Fierce belt.
Both fighters in the first rematches of their career met back in 2021. Mikkelsen getting the TKO in the first round. In on the takedown early up against the broadcast booth. Choo applies the pressure. Mikkelsen begins to start the framing.
Mikkelsen's digging for an underhook with that left a little bit. Exactly what he should be doing. I think he might be able to pivot out the back if he pops that right arm up.
A couple nice knees up the middle by Mikkelsen as they trade and pepper in shots in the clinch.
So far, Choo making it ugly.
Mikkelsen almost punched out, but Choo able to get back in on that single leg.
He's going to get that. Nope, Mikkelsen fought it off. Nice work.
Mikkelsen able to escape, but still dealing with the pressure of Choo.
Choo's mixing it up really well. Threw some strikes there to get to distract Mikkelsen, then went straight back to the leg.
Yeah, great game plan by Choo, not letting Mikkelsen use his athleticism, keeping him up against the cage, dirty boxing.
Keeps him from using footwork and mobility.
Chris Choo, clearly the grappler. 2 wins by submission, 2 wins by decision with his 4-1 record. Mikkelsen able to get the reversal on the Chris Choo takedown.
There's that athleticism.
Now Eric, Choo applying the pressure, but Mikkelsen with the deep underhook there. Can you kind of break this down for us a little bit?
So typically the fighter with his back against the cage can rest here a little bit more. The guy trying to take him down is usually expending more energy. I think that's why Mikkelsen's not really prying or moving. He's letting Choo wear himself out.
And he's laying on his head too, just laying all of his weight on top of Choo.
Quick 2.5 minutes of round number 1. Final 30 here. This bout scheduled for 5 3-minute rounds. I apologize. A couple foot stomps traded.
Gonna make me earn my money tonight with the scorecard.
Dave Selyestead separates the two. Final 10 seconds. Choo backs up Mikkelsen.
Swinging for the fences, but he looks like he's breathing a little bit already.
And he ate 2 big shots to end the round too, Mikkelsen.
End of round 1, and Jason, we've called every single one of Andrew Mikkelsen's recent fights on this win streak. We haven't really seen him back against the wall. This is really the first time.
This is the first time that I've seen him in any kind of danger. I wouldn't say he was in any danger, but I actually scored this fight, this first round 10-9 for Choo. I like the pressure. I like the game plan. Dirty boxing, kept Mikkelsen away from using his athleticism. This is a great fight.
Already beyond the 2 minutes and 24 seconds that it took Andrew Mikkelsen to get the win against Chris Choo back in May of 2021. Eric, in your eyes, what does Mikkelsen need to do to start getting his game going, and what does Choo need to do to continue to do what he's been doing?
Choo did a fantastic job of closing the range and, like you said, keeping Mikkelsen's athleticism out of it. I think Mikkelsen needs to find some range and set a few things up. I can tell you from my opinion, I think Mikkelsen assumes this is going to go into the later rounds. He looked absolutely unconcerned defending the takedowns there.
We will have to see who the fresher fighter is headed into round 2. But still a pop is Chris Choo.
Nice head kick by Mikkelsen. That landed.
Some chance of Choo in the crowd here. Mikkelsen starting to get things going.
Finding that range, just like we talked about.
Locating a landing spot is Mikkelsen, but Choo transitions straight into the back take. Into the grappling exchange as we go.
Mikkelsen needs to turn towards him.
You know, this was the game plan. You know, I was talking to Julian Ruiz earlier before this fight, and they told Choo when he starts getting lit up on the feet, you need to go for the takedown, make it ugly, pressure him, and he's doing exactly that. So he's listening to his coaches.
Mikkelsen's defending well here.
All his weight on that right leg, Eric. I don't know if you're seeing that.
I do. He's not getting taken down necessarily, but the fight's not going to progress this way. One of them's going to have to change position.
184 plus pounds on that leg. Mikkelsen wearing it well. Mikkelsen able to get out of it. Choo making it ugly.
Mikkelsen needs to be careful backing up with his hands down that way.
Mikkelsen's bleeding, or I'm sorry, Choo's bleeding. Oh, nice shot by Choo.
Mikkelsen gets dropped. Choo goes in for the takedown.
A little too excited by Choo. Choo looks like he's breathing hard though.
Jason, we haven't seen Andrew Mikkelsen get dropped, I think, ever.
That's the first time I've seen him dropped.
That was a really, really clean punch. Straight down the pipe.
Straight down the pipe. And like I mentioned, Choo just came off of a title fight, which was a 5-round fight. So he's no slouch in going the distance.
And having that experience.
And he's got the experience. Mikkelsen has been in quick fights.
Seeing a little bit more fatigue from Chris Choo, rolling the head a little bit as Andrew Mikkelsen frames.
If Mikkelsen can hook his elbow under Choo's chin, he can spin him. He's doing a good job of making sure he's not controlling that hand, which is important.
Choo trying to trade a knee in that exchange. Mikkelsen weathers the storm. Final 30 seconds as Dave Seljested is going to break it up.
What a title fight.
You know, if I'm Mikkelsen, I'm giving it everything here. I'm not going to stop hitting him for 30 seconds to try to steal this round.
Mikkelsen going back to the well as he locates that jab precisely.
Nice jab.
Choo starting to wear it now.
Ooh, good right hand. Mikkelsen's finding his range.
Ooh, what a way to close out the round. Andrew Mikkelsen starts to turn the tides in the final 30 seconds.
Wow, what a second round. They were going all at it. Choo looked like he had the round in the bag, and then Mikkelsen comes back. I gave that round 10-9 to Mikkelsen. I thought he came back. I thought he started strong, and I thought he finished strong.
Eric, you got to wonder if he had 30 more seconds, what would we be seeing right now?
It wouldn't have taken 30. Choo looked like he was falling back. Choo's eyes really busted up here. His corner's going to have to put that back together because that thing might swell shut. If I'm Mikkelsen, I'm going to come out and hit that eye about 8 times.
This is what you want in a title fight.
Absolutely.
Just even, both guys throwing down, going at it, evenly matched.
It shows quality of matchmaking.
It really does. You can see Zach's head over there just getting bigger and bigger while we're saying that.
It's hard to get bigger than Zach's head.
All right, top of round number 3 in what has been much more competitive than the first. This rematch in our Fierce FC amateur middleweight title bout. Mikkelsen, calm, cool, and collected, but nonetheless, you got to think he's smelling blood early considering the end of round number 2.
I think if I'm Mikkelsen, I'm throwing 3, 4, 5 jabs and then that right hand. If he throws that left hook into that eye, it's going to be a problem for Choo.
Choo telegraphing a little bit more on those takedowns as we head into the halfway point of the fight, but nonetheless, still the control time is there for the fighter out of the pit SLC.
You could see the strength in Choo, being hurt the way he is, and to still be able to keep Andrew, who we've saw just pretty much toss everybody off of him in every fight he's ever been in.
Choo's definitely tough and very controlling. So from a judge's standpoint, Choo may be winning. He has more ride time. He's controlling the cage. I think a lot of judges really accentuate that in their scoring more so than damage a lot of times, which I necessarily don't agree with, but I'm a striker, so.
No, absolutely. A nice read there, Eric. Jason, you were talking about Andrew Mikkelsen, his previous title bout, 4 knockdowns in 5 minutes. This is definitely the toughest test he's had since he fought Sebastian Mordecai in May of 2022.
Yeah, this is a tough fight. He's having to fight through a little bit of adversity right now.
Choo beginning to get under the hips a little bit.
And you start to see Mikkelsen breathing a little hard now.
Mikkelsen needs to get an underhooker. He's going to get dumped. If Choo jerks that leg hard and turns to his right, Mikkelsen will go down.
Mikkelsen on a wobbly leg here, now taken down by Choo.
Nostradamus.
And this is a position we have not seen the champ in.
Mikkelsen needs to do what he's doing there, post his right arm down. He needs to turn his body, though. As long as his hips are square with Choo, he's not going to get up. There it is right there. He needs to turn those hips. I would continue to hit Choo. The more you hit, the more Choo's going to want to move and get out of that position.
Jason, Andrew Mikkelsen, his one loss to Sebastian Mordecai was to a wrestler, and it is very eerily similar how Chris Choo is taking this fight in comparison to how Sebastian Mordecai took that fight.
What a dog fight.
Oh.
Mikkelsen now in his world.
Ouch.
Down is Choo on one knee. Mikkelsen smelling the blood.
Choo needs to get his hands up and circle. He's hurt bad.
Choo is tough as
He
nails.
might final 10 seconds, round 3.
Oh, my goodness.
Still on his feet is Choo, but on wobbly legs. Mikkelsen
I want to
looking
see
to
Choo
fall.
wrap him up and see if he can get to the next round.
I don't know how that fight wasn't stopped. Oh, my.
We go to a round
Oh, my
4, but
goodness.
Choo barely able to make it back to his corner. Mikkelsen wearing much less damage than Chris Choo, who is bloodied and battered, headed into round 4.
I'll be surprised if they don't stop this fight. He was hurt bad.
Choo is tougher than Woodpecker
Oh,
Lips.
my.
Can you believe that he made it through the end of that?
Wow. I mean, I'd be real surprised if he makes it out of the corner right now.
I'm going to be real surprised if
If they let him.
Yeah.
If the doctor lets him.
he needs to be breathing, and
He's standing up, though. Look at him. Barely
he
standing
should
up.
be
He's,
sitting.
I mean,
I'm not sure that's a good technical choice there, but, you know.
Chris Choo on a shaky foundation. We've got the unofficial scorecard up. Jason, more of the same. The final seconds when Andrew Mikkelsen gets those small windows. I said this during the Sebastian Mordecai fight. When he gets those small windows, he is as devastating as anyone in the entire country.
he is devastating striking, and I'm going to give him that round because he finishes it strong and he almost finishes the fight. And to me, that's more impressive than that control time up against the cage. He landed, he damaged, and he should have finished the fight. I feel like the fight should have been stopped.
And I agree with you. The damage that he's inflicting on Choo, just completely inflicting on Choo, would trump the ride time to me. But if I'm Mikkelsen, I'm going to really get after it here because he can't withstand another barrage like that.
This is the furthest Andrew Mikkelsen has ever gone. Dave Selliestad going to separate. Looks like there was quite
Little headbutt there by
a
Mikkelsen.
slight headbutt. Yeah, that's what I saw as well.
Choo needs to take this opportunity to take some deep breaths. Look at his face.
Both guys, warriors.
Mikkelsen pushing the pace.
I mean, Choo is still throwing. He was almost out on his feet, and he's throwing shots. And he's got Mikkelsen hurt a little bit.
A stiff jab landed by Mikkelsen. That has been his bread and butter. Eric, I apologize. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I think Mikkelsen is more tired than he looks. I think
100%.
he's hiding it well, but I think he's also fatigued.
It has been an all-out war through 10 minutes.
I am pushing myself back on my toes because I want to jump up and down.
This is a great fight.
Mikkelsen needs to hook his left arm under Choo's chin and pull, or that right arm. If he hooks that right arm under, he can pull. Choo doesn't have a lot of gas in the tank. He'd be able to peel him off.
Jason, an interesting note here as well. As we've talked about the stylistic matchup, the similarities of Sebastian Mordecai, they only had 3 rounds. Andrew Mikkelsen still has 6 minutes to work. Well, now 7.5, but nonetheless, or 4.5, I apologize. I'm doing my math in my head. Andrew Mikkelsen has a little bit more time to work.
He does have a little more time to work, and just like the last 2 rounds, we see Choo getting that cage pressure. If Mikkelsen can break away, we've seen him landing that stiff jab that he's been landing all night long.
So there's some strategy here. If Mikkelsen takes this round off and just lets Choo continue to wear himself out,
Transitions into the ground and pound. Mikkelsen.
just keep hitting him.
This could be a bad spot for Choo right now.
Pull that leg out, turn, and fire. This thing's done. I don't know how Choo's still.
And he's throwing shots back. This is
Choo's mouthpiece
Good
is
one,
out.
too.
Mikkelsen smelling. the blood once again.
I love how patient Mikkelsen is being right now.
I'm cringing because Choo doesn't have his mouthpiece in. He's just getting smashed.
And he's just he's throwing shots back. Look how patient Mikkelsen is. Eyes on him.
You're
Head
not
movement.
You're not going to find a tougher guy. There he goes.
It was kind of a bad time to put the mouthpiece in when they're trading shots like that.
Well, I mean, there was a break there. You can't let him take
Yeah.
those shots without it.
What a warrior Choo is.
30 seconds to go. Choo still standing upright.
Nice right hand.
Oh.
Right hand.
Both fighters exhausted. Chris Choo with a granite chin.
I'm not going to lie. If I'm Mikkelsen, I'm going to get on my bike. I'm going to ride out the last of
That's
this.
it!
That's it.
The hand is heavy, and it is ready. Andrew Mikkelsen defends his belt.
And Choo is not happy again. He wishes Selyusted would have let it go, but he really was taking some brutal shots.
What a dogfight. I mean, mark this as one of the best fights in Fierce Championship history. That was an amazing performance by both fighters. Wow.
We have blood splattered
Oh, it's all on my head.
all over us.
It's on me.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching Fierce Fighting Championship on YouTube. For more daily content, make sure to click that subscribe button as well as the bell so you don't miss any of our daily fights, podcast clips, highlights, as well as our full weekly podcast. If you want to tune into one of our live shows, go ahead and head over to fiercefightingchampionship.com.